skills so important today in the world? Who can answer this? Why are presentation skills so important?
Because today communication is very important. So you need to do presentation every day, every time.
Right. Communication is very important. What do you obtain if you do very good presentations? What can you obtain if your presentation skills are really good?
You can convince people to believe in what you say and have the power to make them do as you try to propose.
Wow, that's actually cool. The power to make people do as you actually propose. I like that. That's actually good. Okay. What is the fundamental determinant of your future success? Now, these two questions here are leading up to a study that I'm going to tell you about. Is your ability to communicate. Communicate is understand. Make sure that everybody else understands what you're saying. There are two studies that were given. The AT&T in Stanford was done back in 1987. Where were you guys back in that? This goes back a long time ago, 20 years ago. AT&T and Stanford University got together, and around, I believe it was parts of the world, they surveyed MBA students. And they said, what is the #1 factor to making more money in your career? Who knows what that is?
Probably this.
Huh?
Probably related to this quite strongly.
To give good presentations. Every MBA student said, for me to advance in my career and make more money is directly related to my ability to give good presentations. Okay? Investment banking boomed over the last 20 years. Why? Because people started understanding what investment banking was all about, what the stock market was all about, what the world was all about, globalization. Okay? The ability of an investment banker to be able to communicate to each and every one of us his idea of the future and your financial well-being. Now, you don't deal directly with investment bankers, but major corporations and investment funds do. Okay? Engineering Magazine pretty much did the same study, but with engineers. These are technical people. Technical people don't have to give presentations. They do, actually, quite a bit. We just have to sit at a board and design things, right? Not anymore. Managers said the exact same thing. The ability of a good engineer, it's more important for an engineer to be able to communicate an idea than it is to put it together. What's stopping you from being a good presenter? Confidence. What else? Anything?
Preparation.
Sorry?
Preparation.
Preparation. Kathy? What is stopping you from being a good presenter?
I think confidence is most important.
Confidence? Okay. Maggie?
I'm thinking, just why I sit here to have a training.
All right. How about fear? Boo. Okay. I thought that was funny. No, I'm kidding. Jessica did too. All right. There's another study that was done, and actually it was just redone and earlier this year. What do people fear most in the world? People. Huh? Yourself. I'm kind of like spiders. If I see a spider, I just kind of freak out. You know? Kind of not really manly to say that, is it? I go running through the house screaming like a little girl. You know? I call my housekeeper. It takes her an hour to get there, and she comes over. And I'm tracking the spider, though. You know, I'm like following him where he's going. She comes over and picks it up and throws it out the window. I go, what do you guys think the #1 thing that people fear?
Death is normally there or thereabouts.
Death, number one.
Although it's number one, but it's normally sort of one that's...
Actually, death is number two. Death is the second most feared thing from people around the world. Number one is my job, speaking in front of people. People would rather die than do my job. All right. That's kind of an interesting little fact, isn't it? Number two is actually death. Okay? Number three, and this is actually on Yahoo and CNN. They actually did this study. You can look it up. Speaking and dying in front of people, number three. Okay? So, you guys, trust me, there's nothing to be afraid of. And hopefully, in the next day and a half or day and 3/4, we're going to be able to take you through and give you some skills that you can take back with you and become better presenters. In 2 days, I can't make you a great presenter, but I can give you some skills if you work on them. And if you have persistence and desire, you're going to be able to go through and improve your presentation skills. Actually, said this quote: the people who get on in this world are the people who get up and look for the circumstances they want. If they can't find them, they make them. I want you guys to think about this as when you're giving a presentation. A lot of times you'll be standing in front of your audience and you will want them to think something. You will want them to react a certain way. You will want them to buy your product, but they won't. So in that case, you have to figure out another way to communicate to them, to call them to action, to do what you want them to do. When you're giving, in my situation, in a lot of your situations, when you're giving a presentation, you've worked on it for weeks, you've put it together, you've done your research, you've gotten all your material together, and what happens? You give 3 presentations. You know that? You give the presentation that you want to give to yourself when you're going to the location. So yesterday on the plane, flying up here from Beijing, my arms are still tired. So flying up here from Beijing, I was thinking in my head about the presentation I want to give. Today, I'm going to give the presentation. Is it going to be the one I want to give? Probably not. Then tomorrow, when I'm leaving, I'm going to give my 3rd presentation, the presentation I should have given. Because there will be things today that I won't say it tomorrow, that I will remember as I'm going home. And I'll say, oh, I should have said that. So every time you write a presentation and give a presentation, there's actually 3 you will get. The presentation, there's several parts to it. There's content, concurrence, objectives, and how you actually structure your presentation. Let's look at our contents. Look at this here. It's not only what you say, but how you say it that determines how your message will come across to your audience. A lot of people put a lot of time into the content, a lot of time into the information. And it's not only the content you put in your presentation, it's how you say to the people. Because what is communication again? Communication only happens if there's understanding. Remember I told you guys I could talk to you about sonnets? But if you don't understand how I say what I'm saying, we didn't communicate. Think of your presentation as telling a story. Every presentation gives a story. Have you ever thought about this? Anyone? Anybody? You just give a presentation, you say what's on the slides. Well, then this is going to be secret number one. You guys, every presentation tells a story. It doesn't matter if it's a high-tech presentation, if it's a product presentation of heavy equipment, if it's electronics. Every presentation about a computer tells a story. Every presentation about a telephone system is a story. Right? Make your presentation a story. Give people something to listen to.